If there's one thing that defines Dragon Ball, it has to be the transformations, right? We've seen the power scale go from guys flexing their muscles to literal gods threatening to tear the universe apart. It's been an absolutely wild ride. So, how did we get from point A to point Z? Well, let's trace that incredible journey. 72. Just let that number sink in for a second. Yeah, you heard that right. According to one incredibly dedicated fan who counted them all up, that's how many distinct transformations there are in the main story. That number alone tells you just how central this idea of evolution is to the series. It's kind of nuts. So that's the big question we're tackling. How did the whole concept of power in Dragon Ball go from simple physical changes to something that redefines reality itself over and over and over again? Okay, let's rewind all the way to the beginning. Way before the golden hair and planet-busting energy waves, transformations were, well, a lot simpler. They were basically just situational tricks, all about physical change. Just look at these early examples. You've got Master Roshi's max power form. Sure, it's a huge power boost, but it drains his stamina so fast, it's basically a one-shot move. And then there's Piccolo's great Namekian form, which is even more telling. It's mostly for show. A bluff transformation to intimidate his enemies with barely any actual power gain. These weren't new levels of power. They were temporary tactics, that's all. And then everything changed. When the Super Saiyan was introduced, it wasn't just another power-up. It was a legend, a myth made real. It completely shattered the ceiling of what our heroes thought was possible. I mean, this was the ultimate game changer, a 50 times power multiplier. That's insane. But it came from this place of pure, uncontrollable rage. And that was its big flaw. It was raw, untamed power that made the user lose control. Powerful, yes, but also incredibly unstable. So, what do you do with all this new power? Well, the first instinct is pretty simple. Just add more muscle, right? More bulk equals more power. And that led to grade 2, and then grade 3. Which took that idea to its absolute limit. The power was off the charts, but it created a brand new and crippling problem. You lost all your speed. It was a dead end. And we see this fail spectacularly right here. Trunks goes into his super bulky grade 3 form, and he can't land a single punch on Perfect Cell. It's the perfect lesson. All the power in the universe means nothing if you're too slow to actually hit anything. This forced them to get smarter, which led to the real breakthrough. Grade 4, or the Mastered Super Saiyan. They realized the true path wasn't more raw power, it was about control. By literally living in the Super Saiyan form, they made it feel natural. The anger, the stamina drain, all of it just vanished. It was about turning a wild beast into a precision weapon. And that mastery unlocked Super Saiyan 2, the true successor. It was just a clean doubling of power, with absolutely no drawbacks. It was perfection. But then we get Super Saiyan 3. A massive 4 times power boost over Super Saiyan 2, but it brought back that old problem in a huge way. The energy drain was so bad it could literally shorten the amount of time a soul could spend on Earth. Power at a terrible cost. Of course, the heroes can't be the only ones getting stronger. For every new power-up on their side, the villains had to respond, and they evolved in their own, often terrifying ways. Now get ready for this, because this is one of the coolest twists in the entire series, and it flips everything we thought we knew about Frieza. He wasn't transforming to power up. It was the exact opposite. His forms were actually power suppressors, like shells he built to keep his own insane, uncontrollable power in check. So, looking at his timeline, it all makes sense now. His first 3 forms were just him taking off the training wheels, peeling back the layers that held him back. What we called his final form was actually his natural state. It wasn't until he actually trained for the first time in his life that he got Golden Frieza, his first real power-up, one that launched him straight into the realm of the gods. Cell, on the other hand, had a totally different and kind of creepy method: absorption. His path to perfection involved literally consuming the androids. And the power jump he got from absorbing Android 18 to become Perfect Cell was so ridiculously huge, it made all the Saiyan's training look like a complete joke at the time. So you've pushed muscle and energy to the absolute limit. There's nowhere else to go, right? Wrong. You just have to change the game entirely. And this is the biggest shift in the series, moving away from physical ki and into the realm of divine ki. And that's where Super Saiyan God comes in. This wasn't just Super Saiyan 4. It was a whole new category of power. It's achieved through a ritual, and it introduces divine ki. an energy so different that normal mortals can't even sense it. And the look says it all, you know? Instead of getting bigger and bulkier, the user gets slimmer. It's a clear signal that we've moved past brute force and into refined, efficient, God-level power. And this new divine energy leads our two main rivals down two completely different but perfectly fitting paths. Goku masters Ultra Instinct, the technique of the angels. It's all about perfect calm, letting the body fight on its own without needing to think. And then there's Vegeta. He learns Ultra Ego, the technique of the gods of destruction. It's fueled by pure battle lust, and he actually gets stronger the more damage he takes. It's the perfect split, reflecting exactly who they are. So that's it, right? We've reached the top. The power of angels and gods of destruction. There's nowhere higher to go, right? Well, this is Dragon Ball, so of course not. Just recently, Gohan unlocked his beast form, which is apparently neither a Saiyan nor a divine power-up. And then Frieza shows up after training for 10 years in another dimension and unveils Black Frieza, a form that instantly and effortlessly surpassed both Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego. The goalposts in this series don't just move, they're launched into another galaxy. So from simple muscle buffs to mythical legends to divine techniques that break reality, the idea of power in Dragon Ball is in a state of constant, insane evolution. It really seems like the only true limit is imagination, which leaves us all with one burning question. What in the world could possibly come next?